This is a big change in British foreign policy, this decision to go ahead with recognition, because they will know that it is vanishingly unlikely that Israel will agree to the conditions that Britain has put in there, which is this progress towards a two-state solution. The current Israeli government is absolutely against that. It's more than simply against it as an idea. There are people in the government upon whose political support Prime Minister Netanyahu depends, who have been speaking in the last 24 hours about their hopes of not a two-state solution, but annexation of land that Palestinians want for a two-state solution. Not just reports in the Israeli press about an Israeli plan to annex parts of Gaza, but also statements by, there's a man called the finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, who is an ultra-nationalist, messianic Jew who's driven by a combination of nationalism and religion. And he says, because he's threatened in the past to bring the government down and he hasn't done it, he says, people are asking me why I'm staying in the government. He says, I'm going to stay in the government because good things are going to happen. And by good things, he means taking land that Palestinians want for a state and incorporating it in the Jewish state. So I think it's highly unlikely that, as currently constituted, the Israeli government will accept those conditions. Now, it is possible that, you know, Prime Minister Netanyahu might decide that he can reconstitute his government in such a way to accept all of that. But it would be such a massive flip-flop. I just don't see him doing it. And plus, one other thing, don't forget that the Americans have been absolutely condemnatory of that conference that Foreign Secretary Lamy has been speaking at the United Nations in New York. The State Department put out a very strong statement yesterday using a really harsh tone, condemning it as a reward for terrorism and saying it was interfering with America's own plans to try to bring a wider peace in the Middle East. So I think that at the moment there's actually a stark division in the Western camp between Britain, France. I mean, maybe that Canada might follow suit. Some people have talked about that. And on the other hand, the Americans supporting the Israelis. But from the British point of view, this is a real change. It was only a month or two ago that I was hearing from diplomatic sources that, yes, they wanted to progress towards recognition in concert with the French, but what they wanted to do was to impose benchmarks on the Palestinian side. Now they're imposing benchmarks on the Israeli side.